I didn't wake up early on purpose. At 5:12 a.m., something dragged me out of sleep, an instinct, or maybe a whisper I wasn't fully aware of yet. When I stepped outside, the cold morning air slapped my face awake. And that's when I saw it. A road. A perfectly paved, jet black strip of asphalt stretching straight into the woods behind my house. The problem? That road wasn't there yesterday. I stood at the edge of it, blinking hard like my eyes were lying to me. The asphalt looked new. Too new. No cracks, no leaves stuck to it, not even the faintest imprint of a tire. It smelled like fresh tar, warm and chemical, despite the morning cold. And worse, when I looked down the stretch of it, I got the nauseating feeling that it was longer than it had been a second earlier. I told myself it had to be some kind of overnight construction. Except I'd heard nothing. No trucks. No workers. No noise. Just silence. Then something else hit me. Footsteps, or what sounded like footsteps, far, far down the road. Slow, deliberate, coming toward me, but I couldn't see anyone. I leaned forward, squinting into the fog pooling at the tree line. And that's when I heard it. A voice. Soft. Familiar. Too familiar. It said my name. Whispered it. Evan. My stomach dropped. I hadn't heard that voice in 14 years. Not since the day my little brother disappeared into these woods and never came back. I should have gone back inside. Locked the door. Pretended none of this existed. But the moment I heard my brother's voice, my body moved on its own, one foot stepping onto the new asphalt, then another. The sound changed immediately. The air grew thick, like stepping underwater. The forest on both sides seemed to lean in, branches creaking as if they were listening. My heartbeat echoed in my ears, but underneath it, I heard something else. A quiet tapping behind me, like tiny feet hitting the ground. I spun around. No one there. But a line of muddy footprints trailed behind me on the perfect, spotless asphalt. Small footprints. Child-sized. My brother was 9 when he vanished. The footprints stopped right at a thin white line painted across the road a few meters ahead. It was so sharp, so precise, it looked almost artificial, like someone had placed it there for one specific purpose. And then I saw the sign. A rusted metal plate, half buried in the soil at the roadside. The letters were cracked but still readable. Do not cross. I swallowed hard. Who put that warning there? And why only after the road appeared? A breeze brushed past me, cold, unnatural. It carried a whisper with it, faint but unmistakable. Come further, please. The voice wasn't just familiar now. It was desperate. I inched toward the white line, breath trembling. Then I froze. A shadow stretched across my feet, tall, thin, and unmistakably human. Someone was standing directly behind me. But I hadn't heard a single step. I didn't want to turn around. Every instinct screamed that whatever cast that shadow wasn't something I should look at directly. My breaths came shallow, like the air had thickened into syrup. Slowly, because I had no choice, I turned. Nothing. No figure. Just the empty road stretching behind me. But the shadow remained. It darkened the asphalt at my feet, unmoving, long and crooked like a person standing under a street lamp. Except there was no light source behind me. No sun. No lamp. Just fog. The shadow wasn't mine. Before I could react, the voice returned, clearer this time, close enough to feel warm breath against my ear. Evan, you left me. My knees nearly buckled. Because that wasn't just my brother's voice. It was the exact tone he used on the night he disappeared, when he begged me not to go home alone. I stepped back, shaking. And that's when the road changed again. Objects began appearing along the edges, first blurry, then painfully detailed as if they'd been waiting below the surface. A rusted bicycle frame. A shredded backpack. A child's jacket hanging from a branch like someone had tried to display it. All things my brother owned. My throat tightened. This wasn't memory. This was recreation, twisted, exaggerated, wrong. Then, from the fog ahead, something slid across the asphalt with a wet scrape. I approached slowly. A pair of children's shoes lay there. Small. Muddy. And still dripping water. But the worst part? They were the exact ones my brother wore the day he vanished. And they were warm to the touch. I should have run. No sane person stays on a road that spits out childhood relics like bait. But when I picked up the drenched shoes, a pulse of warmth shot up my arm like a heartbeat. Not mine. Something else's. I dropped them instantly. That's when I heard another sound. Breathing. Not the forest's sigh or the wind's whistle. Human breathing. Ragged, slow, tired. I turned. A woman stood in the middle of the road, maybe 30 feet away. I hadn't heard her approach, not even a crunch of gravel. Her clothes were coated in a fine layer of gray dust, as if she'd walked miles along a desert highway. Her hair hung in snarled strips. And her skin looked like it had been dried under the sun for too long. She spoke without moving closer. You shouldn't be here. Her voice trembled, but not with fear, more like exhaustion. Like she'd said this many times before. I took a cautious step back. Who are you? How did you get here? She didn't answer. Instead, she lifted one arm. Dust cascaded from her sleeve like ash falling from burned paper. Turn back before you remember too much. The way she said it, almost pleading, almost warning, sent a spike of dread through my spine. I blinked. And she was suddenly only a few steps away. I stumbled backward, my pulse hammering. No footprints marked the asphalt behind her. No sign she'd walked at all. She leaned in, whispering one last thing. This road doesn't lead forward. It loops back to what you lost. Then, as I exhaled, she dissolved. Not vanished. Crumbled into dust that drifted upward, as if gravity had reversed. The dust of the woman, whoever she had been, swirled upward until it blended into the fog. When it vanished, the silence came rushing back, thick and oppressive. I stood frozen, gripping my own sleeves just to feel something grounded, something real. Then the road beneath my feet pulsed. Just once. Like a slow, dragging heartbeat. I staggered, clutching my head as a sudden wave of dizziness hit me. For a moment, I forgot what day it was. Then I forgot what month it was. The panic came fast and suffocating. The road was taking something from me. I tried to focus, to anchor myself in the present, but every step forward felt like wading into deeper water. Memories slipped like fish through my fingers. The name of my elementary school. The face of my childhood best friend. The apartment I lived in last year. All dissolving into static. In their place, new memories seeped in. Not mine. A woman screaming for her daughter on a snowy roadside. A man trapped in a car filling with water. A boy, 9 years old, running barefoot down this very road, crying out for help that never came. I gasped, stumbling as the boy's terror filled my chest like it was happening now. The road wasn't leading anywhere. It was feeding me fragments of the people who had walked it. People who never returned. I tried to step back, but my foot refused to move. The asphalt clung to my shoe, sticky, desperate, like a hand trying to keep me from leaving. Then, from far ahead, dozens of voices whispered in unison. "Don't stop now, you're almost home." My blood ran cold. Home? I hadn't lived anywhere near here in over a decade. But the voices seemed certain. Too certain. I don't know how long I walked. Time didn't behave normally on that road. Minutes stretched, thoughts folded, and memories unraveled like wet paper. But eventually, the trees thinned, and the fog lifted just enough for me to see what lay ahead. A town. Small. Quiet. Perfectly still. And absolutely impossible. I knew every building instantly, the little bakery with the red awning, the church with the crooked steeple, the old fountain that hadn't worked since I was a kid. It was my hometown. The one my family moved away from after my brother disappeared. A place I hadn't seen in over 14 years. Except this version wasn't abandoned. Windows glowed with warm light. Chimneys released soft spirals of smoke. And silhouettes moved behind curtains like life had never left. My heart hammered. "This isn't real," I whispered. Then I saw them. People. Standing perfectly still along the main street. Dozens of them. Neighbors I hadn't seen since childhood. Faces unchanged, as though time had paused the moment I left. And every single one of them was staring at me. A woman stepped forward, Mrs. Delaney, my old piano teacher. She hadn't aged a day. "Evan," she said gently, as if greeting an old friend. Her eyes glistened with something between relief and sorrow. "You finally came back." My skin crawled. How do you know me?" More people drifted closer, forming a silent circle around me. An old man placed a trembling hand on my shoulder. His voice cracked as he whispered, "We've been waiting for you since the night you died on this road." The world tilted. My breath caught in my throat. Died? Me? But the worst part wasn't what he said. It was that every face around me nodded, as if they all remembered a version of me that I didn't. Their words echoed inside my skull, "The night you died on this road." I stepped back, but the townspeople moved with me, tightening their circle. Their faces were wrong now, too still, too expectant, like masks stretched over memories that no longer fit. "I'm not dead," I whispered. "I never." A sound cut me off. Metal groaning. Glass cracking. The unmistakable echo of a car wreck replaying somewhere nearby, as if the air itself held a recording of the crash. Before I understood what I was doing, my legs moved on instinct. I pushed through the crowd. They didn't resist, simply parted like they'd known where I would run. I followed the sound to the far end of town, toward the old highway that used to cut through the woods. But the highway wasn't there anymore. The road had replaced it. And at the center of the asphalt lay a car, crushed, twisted, mangled beyond recognition. Smoke curled from the hood in thin ghostly ribbons. My breath froze. The license plate. It was mine. But I'd never owned this car. Never seen it. Never driven it. Yet when I approached the shattered driver's side window, dread hollowed out my stomach. Because slumped over the steering wheel was a body. My body. Face bloodied. Eyes half open. Chest unmoving. Exactly the age I was now. I staggered back, choking on disbelief. No, this isn't real. This can't be. The corpse's head jerked slightly. Not alive, more like something outside it had tugged a string. Its lips parted. And in a dry, broken whisper perfectly matching my voice, it rasped. You were supposed to die here, Evan. The road is just correcting its mistake. Then its dead hand twitched, reaching for me. I stumbled backward, nearly slipping on the warped asphalt as the dead version of me twitched inside the ruined car. The town behind me had gone perfectly silent, too silent, like someone had pressed pause on every breath in the air. The corpse's fingers scraped the doorframe, inches from mine, but I finally forced my legs to move. I ran. Not toward the town, not toward the forest, just forward, deeper along the impossible road. The fog thickened, swallowing everything behind me until the world shrank to a narrow tunnel of gray and darkness. My lungs burned. My mind flickered. Every memory of my life felt loose, like pages tearing out of a book. Then I saw it. The end of the road. A vast, empty clearing with nothing but smooth black asphalt stretching into a circular platform like a stage built for one person. And standing at the center was another version of me. Not dead. Not dying. Alive. Breathing. Calm. He looked exactly like me, same posture, same scar on the knuckle, same terrified eyes pretending not to be terrified. When he spoke, it felt like hearing my thoughts reach back out loud. You finally made it, he said. Most people don't. My voice cracked. What are you? He smiled, not cruel, not kind, just inevitable. I'm the one who stayed on the road. You're the one who slipped off it years ago. This place, it's where lost versions come to meet. My skin crawled. Why? He stepped closer. Because the road wasn't built yesterday, Evan. It was built for you. The asphalt beneath my feet pulsed, once, twice. Like a heart welcoming something home. I froze at the edge of the circular platform, staring at the other me, the version who belonged here, who somehow fit into the pulsing rhythm of the road like a missing piece of machinery. The air around him felt different. He didn't breathe the same way I did. He didn't flinch. He didn't fear. He existed. And he waited. You're wondering which one of us is real, he said softly. That's the trick. We both are. But only one of us belongs in the world you came from. The platform vibrated, asphalt trembling beneath my shoes. What does that mean? I whispered. He pointed behind me. I turned slowly. A second version of me stood at the opposite edge, this one hollow-eyed, trembling, the shape of a man who'd been dragged through grief and guilt for years. My grief. My guilt. Every memory the road had stripped away flickered behind his eyes like a dying film reel. I understood instantly. These weren't duplicates. They were possibilities. The one ahead of me, the path I would have taken if I'd never left the road the night my brother vanished. The one behind me, the path carved by trauma, regret, and a life built on running. And me, caught in between. You must choose, the calm one said. Return to the world missing pieces of yourself, or stay here, become whole, and let the other version go back in your place. The trembling version of me took a step forward, desperate, pleading. Please. I don't want to forget who we were. But the calm version leaned in. You've already forgotten. That's why the road brought you home. The platform pulsed. Waiting for my decision. The platform pulsed again, slow, hungry, deliberate. The two versions of me stood on opposite sides, waiting. One trembling, one serene. One broken by life, one shaped by the road itself. And me, suspended in a moment that felt older than memory. I stepped forward, unsure which direction I was choosing until the fog thinned, and I saw him. My brother. A small, flickering silhouette at the far edge of the clearing. Bare feet. Wet clothes. The same terrified eyes from 14 years ago. "Evan," he whispered, voice cracking like it carried the weight of time itself. My body collapsed to its knees. "Tyler? How?" The calm version of me answered. "He never left." "You did." The trembling version added, "We ran. You followed the police lights. You forgot him on the road." The truth hit me like a blade. I hadn't lost my brother. I had abandoned him, panicked, confused, convinced he was right behind me. The road hadn't taken him. I had. The fog thickened, swallowing his shape, giving me only seconds. "Evan, don't let me fade," he begged. I stood. My decision was no longer about me. I walked toward the pulsing center of the platform. Both versions of myself reached out, one in desperation, the other in acknowledgement. I chose neither. I stepped directly onto the heart of the road. It welcomed me like warm hands closing around my ribs. My last thought wasn't fear. It was relief, because the road didn't want a replacement. It wanted what it had been missing since that night. Me. When the fog cleared, only one figure walked back out into the world. And it wasn't the one who remembered being alive. They found me 3 days later. Wandering along the tree line at dawn, barefoot, clothes damp with fog, eyes quietly vacant, like a man waking from a dream he wasn't sure was his. The townspeople said I seemed calm. Too calm. I answered every question with just enough detail to pass as myself, but never more. I didn't mention the road. Not the platform. Not the two versions. Not Tyler. Because that version, the one who walked out, wasn't meant to tell the truth. He was meant to continue the life I abandoned. Sometimes at night, he wakes up at exactly 5:12 a.m. Sometimes he stands at the back door without knowing why. He doesn't remember the asphalt, but his feet always face the woods, toes pointed towards something that isn't there. Not yet. The real me, the one the road claimed, doesn't feel regret anymore. Not hunger. Not fear. Only the constant hum of the asphalt beneath him, like a lullaby made of echoes from the missing. And Tyler is there too. Or what's left of him. Sometimes he runs ahead of me on the endless stretch. Sometimes he walks beside me. But he never fades now. The road keeps what it takes. Every few nights, a distant vibration trembles through the ground. Footsteps. A traveler. Someone drifting too close to where memory frays. When that happens, the road opens. A new stretch appears in someone else's backyard. Someone else wakes at 5:12 a.m. And I greet them softly from the fog. You weren't here yesterday.